Today I'm going to install a light kit on this 2025 EZGO RXV. I've installed many light kits on the previous generation RXVs, well over 100, and this is going to be the first for this one, so I might as well just bring you guys along. Here's the light kit. It's a light kit with turn signals and halos in the headlights. This is what the headlights look like. Black housing. I think it's going to look pretty sweet. The tail lights, they came in the box pretty scratched. There was no protection, and I'm gonna have to give it a buff job. I unfortunately still think I'm not gonna get all of it out. When you pay 1,100 bucks, you kind of expect better. Shots fired. Premium EZGO emblem. That's gonna look sweet. Turn signal unit. This is not a self-canceling unit. I think you need a certain steering column for that to work, but that's all right. Horn, various bits of hardware, a bracket with the step-down converter, and battery posts. I like the look of that. Wiring harness looks good, all sealed connections, thick wires. 2 instructions. I had to break this one apart to get this template for the rear lights out. It's not to scale, so you have to print it to scale, 11 by 17. So I had to go to Staples and copy and print it, and still it's not to scale, unfortunately. It's actually a bit off. It's supposed to be 0.8 inches, and yeah, it's not proper. So I'm gonna have to just wing that. All right, let's see how this goes. Okay, I took the windshield out. There's just 3 T30s right here. One right there, one in the cup holder here, then one on this side. And it looks like this just pulls out. This corner just peels off. And then this just comes out, it looks like. Cool, easy enough. So this front cowl is actually only being held on by 2 T30s, one right there, one right there. And to take this front fascia off, it's just 2 screws holding it. T30s again, one right there, one right there, and then it just snaps off like that. All right, got the headlights installed. It's just 2 screws holding on the headlight, that screw right there, and then they provide you with an extra screw for that right there. They are virgin holes, so they are pretty tight. And now we're gonna put the front emblem holder right there, and that's it. So now I'm going to remove the floor mat to run the wiring harness through it. There's 2 push pins right here you undo, and there's a few on the floor mat itself. And then it's just T40s holding these together. Floor mat off. It was pretty easy. These are much easier than the previous RXVs. It's just a channel. Took the seat off. Okay, I got the wiring harness mostly all installed right here. So what you got to do, and funny enough, the instruction doesn't mention it, but you got to lift the body a little bit. A do-it-yourselfer might stop there, but honestly, it's not that hard. What you got to do is you got to remove these hinges on both sides. It's a T50 and then a T50 bolt right here and right there, and you pretty much just lift up on the body, and then you gotta push the connectors through. The connectors are too big, they won't fit, so you gotta just lift up on the body. And so part of the harness runs there and part of the harness runs here, and they want you to mount this fuse block right there with the push pin provided. And then the red and the black, that's pretty obvious. You mount it to the battery there. And then I think they want you to mount it to the frame right there. I still gotta cut the tail lights and wire that in. We can go to the other side here. Now, funny enough, there was no mention of how to mount this. I did see the diagram and I saw this, and it looked like the hardware provided was the big screw, it's a T45, and then the smaller screws mount right there. And also on the instructions, the green is actually the positive. They say it's red in the instructions, but there's no red terminal here. So that's the positive, that's the negative. And I'm pretty certain that this is just for 12-volt accessories for underglow and anything you can imagine. And so The wiring harness runs through here, goes to the channel there, and goes to the dash. The harness is right here, runs through right there, mounts like that, and then here is the 12-volt switch. These wires were just here, and then you connect these wires there. And then the headlights, the connector, they're labeled passenger, driver, and then the big connector here is for the turn signal unit. I haven't mounted this yet, which goes to the turn signals. And this is for a 12-volt outlet. This is just a 12-volt output for accessories or anything like that. And so there was no mention of where to mount the horn either. Yeah, I almost think I'm missing some instructions here, because I mean, there's not much mentioning of things. So what I did is I mounted it on a hole right there. It's a M6 bolt with the M6 lock nut, and just connects right there. So, yep, that's it for the wiring. Now it's time to cut holes for the taillights. With the stencil I drew it, and I've been doing this long enough that just does not look right. Also, it's missing the hole for the taillight for that to fall into, and that's just not right. So luckily I have a cart with the factory taillight that I just spent a bunch of time making my own stencil for it. And yeah, for you do-it-yourself guys, I'm sorry, but you guys are in the dark. Hopefully EZGO can provide you with the right stencil, and hopefully they get that fixed, because yeah, that's quite a bit off. Okay, I got the holes marked. I'm ready to cut the holes. I cut the holes with a drywall tool, and I got the headlights polished up with the hardware ready. So here we go. And that's gonna wrap up this video on installing the light kit on this 2025 EZGO RXV. It is dusk now, doing a quick walk around. That looks pretty cool. Halo tail lights and headlights. It's only first clicked for the running lights, and then second click is headlights. As you can see, those are pretty good. It's on low beam. You go to high beam, and it switches to high beam. Here's the turn signals on, looking great. And so a couple critiques is there's no timer for the turn signal, so you can run infinite with the turn signal on. If you're a golf cart person, you know you can run the turn signal on for a while and look like a fool. Also, another critique is there's no rear brake switch for the brighter rear brakes. That's important for some people. And also there's no hazards. So just so you know, if you get the kit, you don't have those things. All right, thanks for watching.